Hi and welcome to my channel. You're on Natasha's Cakery Bake School and today we're going to make treacle tart. So to start with, we're going to make some pastry. We need 200 grams of plain flour and 100 grams of butter. We're going to incorporate them in together until it resembles breadcrumbs. Use your fingers to do this. You can use a food processor to do this. I just like to use a spatula. And keep going and it'll eventually turn to what you're looking for. We're using plain flour because we don't want to rise, and we're making short crust pastry. If you want a sweet pastry, you can add ice and sugar, but since we're making treacle tart, it'll be sweet enough, we won't need any. Okay, nearly there. We're going to make the pastry first because it needs to chill. It also needs to blind bake a little, which will give you time to make the rest of the tart. Next, we're going to incorporate a little bit of water just to bring it together. This just cooled water, and a little bit goes a long way. Add a little at a time. You can see it'll start coming together. Don't be tempted to add too much. Try and work it in a little bit first before you add any more. I'd say around 100 ml will probably be enough for this. If you have accidentally put too much water in, you can always add a little more plain flour. So you can see that's just starting to come together nicely. Okay, let's splash more. Perfect. This needs to go into the fridge to rest for at least 15 minutes. The pastry's nice and chilled. We just want to roll it out. We don't want to mess with it too much. You can loosely bring it together, but the more you mess with it, the tougher it's going to be. So we're going to loosely roll it out. I've got a 9-inch tray. I've got a floured board, and we're going to blind bake it. And just roll it out on your board, the thickness of around about a pound coin. Check that your pastry is wide enough for your tin. Get your tin, pop it on top, and make sure there's enough for sides. Okay, so I'm just going to roll it up quickly on my rolling pin, place the tray underneath, and then lay the pastry on top, starting with the far away edge first. Gently bring it in. Press up the sides. If your tray is non-stick, you can grease it lightly and sprinkle flour on to make your own non-stick. We're going to trim the edges. Just get a knife and gently go around. Get a nice finish. You don't want to cut it too short because it will shrink back slightly in the oven. You can press a fork up against it if you want to. Got a nice crimped edge. Okay, you can save the leftover bits to make a lattice for the top if you really want to. And keep it for later. Next, we're going to pop some holes into the pastry with a fork. This will prevent any rising in the oven, helping keep it nice and flat. Then we'll put some greaseproof paper as well. Make sure it covers the pastry, and we're going to blind bake it just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through before we put our filling in. So we're going to use rice. As long as you've covered your pastry base, you can use coins, baking beads, lentils. Just make sure you keep them to one side for baking beans only. I'm going to put that in the oven on gas 4, 180 or 350 for about 20 minutes, just until it's nice and crisp. Ready for the filling to go in, and we're going to make it. So in here we've got 300 grams of golden syrup. Super sticky. We are going to add 50 grams of melted butter, you can add a pinch of salt or use salted butter just to take a little edge off the sweetness. Mix that in. I've put it in a jug because it's easier to pour in. Give that a little mix up first. The butter's going to help give it a nice sit and a nice flavour as well. Okay, into that we want to add about 60 ml of lemon juice, or 1 whole lemon, or the juice and the rind if you have it. Mix that in as well. The lemon juice again is going to help to set it. Now I have got my breadcrumbs already. I've got about 3 slices of bread, well, 3 small slices of bread, 2 big slices of bread. You need ideally about 30 grams of breadcrumbs. It's easier if your bread's been sitting out overnight. It grates a lot easier. I've had to grate mine, but you can put it in a food processor. Okay, so that's incorporated nicely. And now we're going to add 4 eggs. And mix. Mix until it's well combined. Okay, and now we're going to add half of the breadcrumbs. And give it a good mix. Our mixture is ready to put in our tart. Okay, so the tart piece is out of the oven, it's cooled down, it's baked. All we need to now is put the filling in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first half of the breadcrumbs that we saved earlier into the bottom and spread them out a little. Then I'm just going to give this a little mix up just to make sure it's completely mixed through again. So we'll separate a little and just pour it completely over. There we go. It's easier to have this in a tray ready to put into the oven like this in case this is too full, because if this is too full and you're wibble and wobble into the oven, it's not going to be very good. So this is going to bake for about 20 minutes on gas 4 or 180 or 350, and you want it to still have a slight wobble in the middle. And you'll see at the moment there's little air bubbles popping up. That's just all the syrup getting into all the little breadcrumbs at the bottom. So it's ready to pop it in the oven. So there we go, one of my absolute favourites, Treacle Tart. It's still hot from the oven, but you can see that it has rose and it's got a slight wobble still in the centre. Really nice with custard or ice cream. You make it early on in the day and you can have it for pudding later on. I'm going to wait for it to cool slightly and then have a big slice.